epoxy. I ain't never been with it. Are we starting? My bad. Hey you guys, welcome to my page. I am Shadia. This is Customs Creations with Shadia, and this is actually my very first YouTube video. So shout out to me. But let me not forget to shout you out too, because I already know you're on your way to hit subscribe. You're going to like, you're going to comment, and you're also going to share my page so somebody else can have access to this. I am a habitual crafter. I work with a crazy amount of mediums, from paper all the way down to epoxy and resin. But I actually specialize in epoxy and resin. Today's video is going to be dedicated to showing you guys how I make my epoxy and resin dominoes. So without further ado, let's jump and let's get right into it. I start off by measuring my part A and my part B of the epoxy resin into two different cups. Then I combine it together in one cup. And I do this because I want to make sure that I have equal parts of both so that the resin can cure appropriately. You mix it until you have a clear consistency and you don't have that much air bubbles. As you could tell, I'm using a rubber brush to mix the chemical together because this helps reduce air bubbles. I don't suggest using wooden popsicle sticks because wood is naturally porous and it will actually produce more air bubbles into your mixture. After mixing, I prep my mold by spraying 91% alcohol on it. This reduces the bubbles that can appear once we pour the epoxy. Bubbles are not our friends, y'all. Bubbles turn into holes, and holy dominoes or anything resin is a big no. I want to add a quick disclaimer here. Please make sure that your mold is clean and free from anything that you don't want to appear in your final product. The resin will harden and there won't be any way to remove it afterwards. So right now I'm adding a clear layer to the bottom of my mold because I don't want my colors to mix directly. I know that sounds confusing, but I'll show you exactly what I mean in a few. Now, as for measurement, as you guys can tell, I'm just pouring the epoxy to each section. I eyeball my pours because I've been doing this for a while. However, as a beginner, a good measurement tool to use is a plastic spoon, just so that you can get an even amount in each section. At this point, my resin has started to thicken up a bit, so I'm just moving it around and just manipulating a little bit so that there's an even amount in each section. Again, using a spoon will help you completely skip this step. Now for the fun part, the color. For this set, I'm using orange and black. I'm a bit off screen, but for the orange, I'm mixing acrylic paint and mica powder, and for the black, I'm just using acrylic paint. Be careful not to add too much paint because it will change the chemical properties of the resin and it will not dry properly. You can use just about anything to customize your resin. Paint, alcohol, ink, glitter, mica. I even seen some people use polymer clay. It's your preference. It's what you want to do. Now that all the colors are mixed, let's add them to the mold. Earlier I said that I added a clear layer to the bottom of the mold so that the colors do not mix directly, and I'm about to show you that now. There's no particular way to pour the colors. They won't be uniform at all. It's just not how it's going to work. It's going to be an abstract design. So I'm about to speed it up so you can see how I pour it. So yeah, enjoy. but not least, I am using a small little stick to blend the colors together and create like a small little design. Label that I will be placing on this set. I printed my labels on cardstock and I cut them using my Cricut Explorer. This set is not for sale, they are for personal use. Anything that I do not own a copyright to, I could be sued and jailed for, so I do not resell. Moving on, I allow the first layer to dry for about 24 hours before I start placing labels on. Because I use cardstock, I place a small amount of resin down first to be used as a glue. Personally, I don't like using cardstock, and moving forward, I will be using printable vinyl. To me, the cardstock was just too much work to try to make sure that it adheres to the dominoes. After placing the labels on, I place another layer of resin on top of the dominoes and allow it to dry for an additional 24 hours or longer if needed. This is the finished product. Yay! It turned out so nice. I painted the dots white using a fine tip brush, and I also cleaned the edges around using a small nail filer to buff them and smooth them out. With custom dominoes, I give my customers a choice to have it in a plastic storage container or to have it in a small mesh bag. And that's that, y'all. Thank you guys so much for taking your time out to watch my video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And also, let's get social. Connect with me on social media, TikTok, and Facebook as well. Till next time, have fun crafting, creators.